Hey everybody, I know I am late tonight. See if I can get some light going. Bear with me during these couple of days, please. I'll see if I can get some light shining. Oops, there we go. Oh, I think I just lost my page. All right, I'm gonna give it one more minute, and I'm not really going to wait for anybody to hop on because I understand I'm late tonight. I'm behind on the time that I said that I was gonna go live. But again, please give me a little grace these next couple of days. Yeah, it's tough. So yeah, 30 more seconds, and I'm gonna spit it out because I don't think I'm probably gonna be 10 minutes. Honestly, truthfully. So yeah, I think tonight is mostly gonna be like a not a think tank, but kind of like a confessional, if you will. Excuse me. So, okay, I'm going ahead and get started because 30 seconds are up. But yeah, so if I'm being completely, first of all, back up, where are my manners? Who raised me? Hey y'all, welcome to another day, another journey, a journey to Paris. It's been a while, right? And we're just almost 2 weeks in, you know. Today is day 13, I think. So that's cool, you know. I'm always almost halfway done. Uh, Seems so far away to completion, but we're gonna keep going. But thank you for being on this journey with me, of growth, of transparency, of honest conversations, confessionals, real, raw, unedited life, as God processes and prepares and cultivates me. So, yes. But, anywho, if you're new and you're just starting with this video, I strongly advise you to stop, go back, watch the others. Um, but if not, this is just a journey that God told me to commit to document, to go over. And yeah, so I typically give backgrounds of what God is dealing with me about for that day. Today is about laughter. So all day today, I've been around like family or on the phone with like my sisters, because those people those are like the only people that I have capacity to talk to during this time of grieving, right? And I found myself like making jokes, right? Just like making jokes, being in intense, crazy laughter, right? And so a part of me at first, I was like, why do I keep laughing? Like, God, what is this? This is weird. Like, why am I busting at the seams laughing? Like, this just don't seem right. And so then it was like, okay, some people make jokes as a form, as a means to avoid. And I'm like, well, I'm very in tune with my emotions and you, so I don't think that I'm avoiding. He was like, no, and it's not you making light, but it's me again. Like I said last night, this roadmap of grieving that I'm going through, it's reminding me of God's word. So the scriptures for tonight are Proverbs 14:13 and Ecclesiastes verses 1 through 4. Now, Ecclesiastes, I'm going to read that one just for context. Okay. It says, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. So then we get to Proverbs 14:13. And it says, even in laughter, the heart may sorrow, and in the end of mirth may be grief, right? So um when I was going through these scriptures, sorry, y'all, something is like lint. It's floating in my eye. Ooh, okay. When I was going through after I heard those scriptures, I'm like, okay, God, what does that mean? And he was just saying, like, this is why I say that. This is why, homegoings are typically a celebration of life, right? In this grief cycle, we are reminded of the life cycle. So um, today, like, I had to help my mom find something to wear, and we went back to places that my granddad took us, like when we were younger, like to this city, like just looking at, and I was remembering all the things, along with cracking a lot of jokes, just making things so light in a sense, just because it's like it's so heavy, right? And so God is basically reminding me what is the laughter for and how it's purposeful, how it ties to the word, and that laughter is an instrumental part of the grief process, right? Because Proverbs 14:13 tells us, even in laughter, the heart may sorrow. I am in a space of sorrow, extremely. Losing him, unexplainable, unexplainable. But there's the laughter, right? And it says, and in the end of mirth may be grief. So this is the New King James Version, by the way. So when I was like, okay, mirth, like, let me look that up. So I looked it up in the Hebrew, and it means joy, gladness, pleasure, right? And it also says rejoicing. And I thought, and it says joyful banquets. This is the Hebrew version, the Hebrew definition. And I thought that that was so good because, again, this, as painful as it is, as much as so much out of you, we have to be reminded of the parts of us that should rejoice. There should be laughter. There should be dancing. Even in Ecclesiastes, when we see this, we're seeing that there's a time to build up. There's a time to heal. There's a time to heal. Like everything is, if we know the law of reaping and sowing, right, then we also have to understand the law of life. Like death is the one thing that is certain, and so I'm able to see that one, I shouldn't feel guilty for the laughter. I shouldn't be hesitant about laughing because I'm fearing avoiding something, but I should also kind of rejoice because it's showing that I am taking this roadmap to grieving God's way in the right direction. I'm not leaning on myself. I'm leaning on God. There are pockets where I'm breaking down uncontrollably, and there are pockets where I'm cracking jokes, laughing uncontrollably. And it's not because there's the absence of pain or because I'm seeking to suppress something, but it's because I do have joy of the memories, the life, the legacy. Um, and it's worth the joy. It's worth the dancing. It's worth the love. So I think so many times when we lose people that we love, we feel we have survivor's guilt. We don't want to laugh. We don't want to grow. We want to stay stuck in those spaces. We want to confine ourselves to wherever they were and really kind of in essence, reduce their lives to only their death. And so God is showing me that his death cannot speak louder than his life, because I had him for 32 years. And that's a lot of life. That's a lot of memories. That's a lot of goodness. That's a lot of joy. It's a lot of great things. So this homegoing is even should be joyful because he's in the safety of the Almighty, you know? He doesn't have to suffer on this side. And so there's joy in that. And it's also the joy of the fact that God lended him to me for as long as he did. And so as I continue to follow this roadmap of grieving God's way that he's placing before me, I'm grateful for the pockets of laughter where I can really just watch my mom smile, like watch her crack up, or hear my sisters like just like, girl, you crazy. Like I needed that laugh to be able to just rejoice in on the goodness, the good things, because death is crippling. But if we don't have any other promise for God, is that we know that that's coming, and to know that He's able to be free back to His Creator is, it's a reason to celebrate. Does my flesh want to celebrate His life that way? Absolutely not, because I'm fighting the air every single second. And I was fussing because I was telling my mom, I was like, he hated taking pictures. And now you done left me out here and I'm trying to scramble and scrape 5 pictures of 32 years. I feel bamboozled. Like, you couldn't help a sister out, like, you know? And I think it's so interesting. Most of the pictures that I do have are like very pivotal points in each part of my life. And only God could do that, right? Only God. So the 5 pictures that I have are like, okay, a little girl pregnant with Landon, have Landon, he's with Landon. Um, After I lose Landon's dad, and then before he transitioned. So it's like very pivotal points. And I had to laugh about that because I'm like, literally, only God can do that. Like, he took what most people will say is small, or dang, I don't, it's only 5 pictures, but these 5 pictures are the most significant. Um, and so I'm understanding why we should hone in on the fact that it's not a funeral. It's really a celebration of life, because we will begin to glorify the death over the life of the person. Um, and laughter is so necessary, because grief will swallow you up and spit you out with no regard. Okay. Um, Sorry, I'm at home, so people are coming in and out. Um, but yeah, grief, and because I have been in such a low place in grief, like literally, this is a whole nother live or video, but like losing Jimmy, which is Landon's dad, that took me on a, like, when I say low, Lola, baby, the first year and a half, I wasn't trying to see God. I was, yeah. So to be in this place and to seek God, and even when I don't fully seek Him, He still answers. Because I even told Him tonight, like after having to help my mom find something to wear, going down memory lane, I'm just like, I don't have the capacity. Like, I don't want to go live. Like, this part of obedience is hurting me, worse to God. He was just like, imagine, and this is how cutthroat God is, but He said, imagine two things: you dying full and blood being on your hands. Because grief literally will take you to a place to where you won't do anything because you don't feel like it, and you're stuck in this space of just nothing but darkness. And you won't produce, you won't live, you will literally die with that person. And I've done that. And once I overcame that, I was like, God, I don't ever want to be that low again. Um, and just one of the other this is something else that God told me maybe yesterday, last night. Um, because I couldn't come in the house because he wasn't here, right? So I was waiting for him when I come. So I was like, okay. So then, no, this was earlier today. So me and my mom, we went out, and so come back in, y'all. Literally, like it's like second nature to me because I've had it my whole life. I literally I say, Joe, that's his name, because I like joke laugh and I'm like, Joe, what you doing in there? He's not here. I'm on live. You want to say something? Say hey. They can hear you. They can't see you, girl. They can't see you, mom. It's paper. My mama is throwing up the peace sign. She don't want to be seen. Um, but yeah, so literally within seconds, I had completely forgotten just that fast because I'm so used to just being like, "Hey, what you doing in there?" And literally, my friend texted, she was like, "How are you holding up? Like, are you giving yourself grace?" And I was like, no, like, because I had to find something too to wear. And I was like, no, I don't want to buy clothes for this body. I'm over it. I've gained weight, honey. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. And she was like, yeah, this is a lot, you know. And so literally in that moment, Holy Spirit said, you have to trace the trauma. What are we talking about? Trace the trauma. Okay. Every time in my life that I've literally gained weight like this has been attached to death. It's been attached to grieving, right? And I had no idea until today, like to parallel that and to why am I saying this? I'm saying that because grief again has the ability to swallow you whole and spit you out without you even really knowing it because it takes you so far away from yourself. Um, and so I just began to thank God for the ability and the capacity to make room for laughter, to remember the life, the legacy, the man, because I can only imagine how dark it would be if I could only see his his death, like no none of the good times, none of the jokes that he would tell or the things that he would say, or like this is probably TMI, but literally I snatched my wig off and my granddaddy would look me in the face if I like when I woke up or when I wasn't looking presentable, he'd be like, "Ooh, baby, you need to go do yourself a favor," like things like that. So just the ability to have a space and a pocket of laughter and to find scripture to say that laughter is a part of the process of grieving, of mourning, and it's okay. It's really okay. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean that you're always trying to avoid or bury something. It could just mean that you're really on the path and the map that God has placed out for you to chart this part of grieving his way. Yeah, shalom. It definitely does let us know that we should live well so that when you die empty and people have something to celebrate. They have something to remember. They have so much to hold on to and it creates a willingness to live because it's like, man, you lived so well that I want to fulfill my life to the fullest potential and to complete my assignments as well. So I think it's very very pivotal for us And it's so funny because my granddaddy used to always say, like, baby, funerals ain't for the dead. The funerals are for the living. The dead, they have gone on to their many mansions where the streets are paved. Baby, they gone. The celebration is for you. And so God was just reminding me that this is a journey that I have to take day by day, but to continue to allow myself spaces and pockets of laughter and to be able to use the strength that He's given me to lift other people, because to see my mom laugh and smile like she was His caretaker. So she was here day in and day out, and that was her last living parent. So I know it's a lot. So to see her laugh, like, means a lot. And just to be able again to just find the word myself in the word, to root myself, because had I not been in this place, like not even mentally, spiritually, I probably would have lost my mind by now, because this is not for the faint of heart. Because if I had it my way, I would not do this. I would have been like, hey, y'all, cut this week or cut it all together. But even in laughter, I had to be reminded of the promises that I made, um, to myself, to my granddad, and to God. And one of the things he said to me before was how proud he was of me, persevering. So whether I'm late, whether I'm on time, I have an obligation to God, to myself, and to Him. So I said I was going to be 10 minutes with 22 minutes. Again, this was just, I guess, a late night confessional laced with a little word or biblical foundation. I pray that you guys found something, nuggets, that it bless you in some type of way. Please continue to give me grace during these days ahead, because this is indeed a real raw journey that I'm on right now. So, yeah, if you're grieving, it doesn't have to necessarily be the death of a loved one, but if you're grieving, know that laughter is okay and that it's a part of grieving God's way. So create moments and pockets in space to laugh and to know that you deserve to live well. You deserve to live well. So yeah, just continue to keep us uplifted. Yeah, because the warrior's being tried by fire. But God is good. So again, I apologize for being late. Thank y'all for being patient. Thank you for joining this journey to Paris. I appreciate it. I pray that as God continues to pour out to me, meet me where I am, speak life and blessings to me, that it will literally be it unto you as well. That it will hit not just your life, but your homes and your families and your bloodlines as well. Because I know that God is just that good and He's just that gracious that He will do that. So, yeah, I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing night. Love you. Bye.